Alright, hey everyone, and welcome to Angels with Scaly Wings. I'm trying to find my stream so I can make sure everything's going correctly. Alright, here we go. Now, this is not my first time playing the game, as I don't know how to say the name, but the Barbarian knows. This is not my first time playing. I've made that very clear to him about a certain ending. Now, be aware this is not a kid-friendly game, as it even says drugs and stuff. My dog is over here harassing me. User profile not found. I am not going with my name this time, as that had... No! Crap! I'm going with this one. I am going to choose the same as last time, and that is going to be blue. Yes. Now, just so you guys know, I'm making sure the microphone is working. Okay, yeah, it's working. Please press X, yada yada yada. I'm not used to these controls, so if I do mess up every once in a while, I apologize. Maria said to me, it all began when we discovered a strange device in the middle of nowhere during one of our expeditions. A portal! I'm doing the stupidest narrating voice ever. I had heard about similar technology before, though that had been more of an experimental. From what I knew, other portals had been created in the past and were under consideration for mass application. As to this one in particular, we did not know who had built it, nor when, or why we found it in the wilderness where we did. What was more exciting to us was the fact that it was functional. Our first tests, we found there were someone else on the other side who was in possession of a similar one, and our attempts to communication through letters were successful. In the end, the machine's extraordinary demand for power meant we need to act quickly, as we wouldn't be able to keep this portal open for much longer. When we made this note to the other side, we received a very unexpected reply. A letter of invitation. After some deliberation, it was decided to accept the hospitality and send a person to the other side. There was an individual who took the job almost immediately. You know, my dog is walking by. Riza, I don't know how to say his last name, and I hate him. I knew him, or rather, had known him. We came to the same school back then, and even had a few classes together. We never really were close friends, but we talked to each other occasionally and hung around with the same crowds, and however, we still went our separate ways in the end. I wasn't sure what to think about the whole thing, but he had to have known what he was doing. He certainly was brave. Either that or just very, very foolish. Well, I wasn't sure which his courage was applied by us after all. He couldn't possibly have known who or what would await him on the other side of the ball. And if he did meet someone there, who knew what kinds of intentions they might have. Not that any speculation on our part would have made a difference. When the day finally came, he went, with his applause echoing in the area, equipped with the clothes he wore, his multi-tool, a gun, and a device on his wrist that acted as a PDA. I don't know what a PDA is, so don't question me with that. All I know is that Darwin could be for cyber. And agreed, the crowd that was applauding him slowly dispersed with the enthusiasm died down, as there was nothing for us to do but wait and speculate. Approximately 8 hours later, we received our first message from him. While we assumed the portal had led to another country or maybe a different continent, the reality turned out to be much more foreign. The situation described to us was so unlike that we initially took it as a joke, a very bad joke, maybe even with worse timing and no punchline at all. It simply occurred to us that we may have just made one of the most important discoveries since the dawn of mankind. Fighting the bride being remarkable itself, but this took it to a completely different level. When I described it as, or more accurately, its inhabitants, we surmised it could not be a part of Earth at all. We called them the dragons, because according to the raised up, that's what they were, or at least that's what they resembled most. Even though we found out to believe it had been these dragons who sent us all the letters, and what Reza found on the other side of the portal was a whole civilization of them. They could talk, read, write books, had buildings of which in many ways this was actually similar to our own. So were they, and where was this place? Could they be aliens? Our speculation led us to conclude either way. After all, we knew about the existence of thousands of planets million light years away that may have been theoretically habitable, yet even we have never found any conclusive proof in regards to actual alien life forms. Some people have brought in quantum mechanics, power the universe, but in the end this was all just conjecture and ultimately fruitless endeavor, since we neither had the means nor the resources to explore these possibilities in greater detail. I think there's just one more thing worth mentioning before I move on. The previous isolation had been mutual. They had known about any other intelligent life forms beyond their own. Their portal had only recently been discovered and was a technology previously unknown to them, and just as we had missed about dragons, they had missed about us. That was what we knew about them so far, and as interested in learning things and debating their culture as significant was, we didn't really know what we should make of it all. Reza apparently was sure of what he was doing, though, as he eventually let us know they had agreed on a trade. We were to give a few of our PDA devices, which contained vast amounts of knowledge, dwarfing even that of encyclopedias, in return they would apply some generators. Overall, they didn't seem to be as technology advanced as we had been. But they did surprise us once. Their means of generating energy seemed sustainable. Not only that, but evidently also quite efficient. We certainly would be able to put that technology to good use in trading mere past knowledge of the human race for something more tangible was a good call on his part. Oh my god, reading sucks. I can't read. I meant to say that I suck at reading, but it's different words came out. Okay, that was where I came in. My prior experience in both biology and sociology made me a good fit to deliver our PDA devices for trade. While the Dragon's World waiting for the prototypes of our generators to be manufactured by them, I would act as an ambassador on humans' behalf, or humanity's. What a way to make a first impression by display of mutual goodwill. Everyone benefits and everyone goes home happy. All is well, at least that was the plan. Despite the images that living talking dogs might conjure up in people's minds, I didn't think of bringing a weapon myself, considering that they were reportedly friendly with pistols enough. There was no need for me to fear potential and ill intentions like Reza did when we had stepped into unknown territory. In acting as human's ambassador, I had to do my best to uphold a high standard in fostering this diplomatic relationship. When the time came to set the portal, all my mental preparedness had vanished. My anxiousness was fueled by all of the questions lurking in my head, just as the machine started to do its work. Would it hurt? Who would I meet on the other side? What if they really once more just made Reason write those letters with the pretense of appearing friendly, only to lure us into a den of man-eating monsters and certain doom, thus ending up as nothing more than a tasty afternoon snack? Maybe I should have brought a weapon after all. Suddenly I felt a shiver across the double bone beyond when I had this thing, as if every cell, every atom of my body was torn from me, and I was pulled into a different direction. I am a terrible reader. Please bear with me here. As this game has a lot of dialogue, it's practically everything is dialogue. I guess that's what's called a visual novel. I saw darkness and light, painting patterns of the stars as I traveled, and images rapidly flashed before me of things unseen and unspoken, both horrifying and beautiful. It was an experience unlike any other, yet over in just a split second. Then it was dark. I could only see a patch of lighted color contrasting with the dark surroundings. As my vision started to clear, its edges get sharper, and the patch of light slowly took shape, gave me the distinguished outline of a routine and an array of horns spreading from it. Ouch. It was a dragon. As I could see now, a dragon who not only had a pair of freaking round glasses, but also wore a burgundy tie around its neck. Okay, in the name of people, I bid you welcome. If I may introduce myself, I am Remy, your guide and ambassador, representative of our council. Jen check is one thing I heard about this, but this is something else entirely. To have one standing in front of me, flesh and blood, and telling you it was good. All my mental preparedness. I think my dad's home, by the way. All my mental preparedness had disappeared when I was sober because nothing could have prepared me for this. So I imagine you might still feel the effects of television. Jazz and his weakness is not unusual as his fainting and spontaneous emptying of your bowels, bladder, or stomach. How do you feel? Remained speechless. I totally forgot that I was shouldering the burden of representing my people. So much for being professional. At least he gave me a good excuse for my blunder. So I followed the dragon, not staying too far from it, as the sun had already departed for the day, and the remaining lights diminished by the minute. It is getting hard to see where I'm going. Sorry about that, but we had a good reason to schedule a ride like this. We don't want you to be an ambush background, so we had to keep your exact time and date of arrival secret. Thanks, I suppose. An event like this would make Mr. Barry's sorry it would be the same if one of you came to us. I'll be right back, guys.